Live from Central Pennsylvania, this is CBS 21 News This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Sherry Christian. Here's a look at our top stories. Breaking news, crews on the scene of a fire in York County. Plus, a doctor facing sexual assault accusations in court for a preliminary hearing. And a push to raise the minimum sales age for tobacco products to 21. We're live ahead of a rally planned for later today. Plus this.
What you're doing here is disgusting. This is wrong. You have no business being out here.
Growing calls for a state lawmaker to step down after he recorded himself confronting an abortion protester. But first, let's get a check of weather with Steve Knight.
Well, I got to tell you, coming off a beautiful day yesterday, what do you say we do it all over again? It's actually going to be a little bit warmer today. I think we're going to make a run toward 80 degrees. We've got nice clear skies to set things up here. It's going to be beautiful for you stepping off for work and school. And a big warm up this afternoon as we make a run toward 80. Now watch as this front sags down from the north. As we head toward the evening hours tonight, 7, 8 o'clock, we could just see a stray shower, but doesn't look like much. Then tomorrow, the northeast breeze is back, and that will mean some cloudy and cooler conditions. So enjoy today while we have it. Mostly sunny with that high near 80. We're cloudy, cooler tomorrow, mid-60s, and then a few showers and storms on Thursday. Once again, highs in the mid-60s.
We begin with breaking news out of York County, where crews are battling a house fire in Hanover. They were called out to the scene in the 100 block of Broadway around 3 this morning. Dispatch tells us one person was taken to the hospital. Happening today, a Lancaster County doctor accused of sexually assaulting 5 patients will be in court for a preliminary hearing. The state filed new criminal charges against Dr. William Vollmer last week after more alleged victims came forward, all of which had similar stories that Vollmer touched them sexually during appointments. Vollmer specialized in sports medicine and had contracts at several local school districts and one college. His license has been suspended. Hundreds of people, including more than 600 youth advocates, are set to converge on the state capitol today in support of a movement to raise the legal age to buy tobacco products in Pennsylvania. They want to see it go from 18 years to 21. CBS 21's Joe Ducey live in Harrisburg with more. Morning, Joe.
Yeah, Sherry, good morning. This is all part of the Tobacco 21 initiative. Not only are they trying to see the minimum age to purchase tobacco increase, they're also fighting to preserve funding for tobacco control programs. According to the American Lung Association, tobacco use is the nation's #1 preventable cause of death and is responsible for 22,000 deaths in Pennsylvania every year. While overall cigarette smoke rates have decreased, they're at historically low levels. E-cigarette use has increased rapidly among youth. The American Lung Association says there was a 78% increase in e-cigarette use among high school students between 2017 and 2018, prompting the FDA to declare it an epidemic. Advocates say one of the main reasons for today's rally is to push for legislation that will help protect kids from a lifetime of health risks associated with use of tobacco products.
What we're looking for is strong Tobacco 21 policy. It's not enough to just cross out 18 and put 21. We need strong policy that truly saves the lives of Pennsylvanians.
Today's rally gets started at noon here at the Capitol. Coming up next half hour, hear why some advocates say lawmakers aren't doing enough when it comes to preventing youths from being able to access tobacco products. We're now reporting live in Harrisburg. Joe Ducey, CBS 21 News.
Thank you, Joe. A Democratic state lawmaker is drawing criticism for filming himself berating a woman demonstrator outside an abortion clinic in Philadelphia.
Who would have thought that an old white lady would be out in front of a Planned Parenthood telling people what's right for their bodies?
Representative Brian Sims posted this 8-minute video on social media showing himself peppering the woman with questions and criticism. Now Republicans are calling on Sims to apologize.
This is conduct that is certainly that is unacceptable and despicable coming from a state lawmaker.
We reached out to Sims for comment but haven't gotten a response. In a Twitter post Sunday, he responded to a critic saying, quote, "Bring it, Bible bullies."
And breaking news out of Myanmar overnight, 2 Reuters journalists jailed for more than 500 days are now free. 2 men walking out of prison. These 2 men after being put behind bars for breaking the country's Official Secrets Act. This after they were convicted back in September and sentenced to 7 years. But Myanmar's president recently issued a blanket pardon for more than 6,500 prisoners, and they were among them. Their convictions were for reporting on security forces' abuses of the country's Muslim Rohingya minority.
New this morning, police say 4 men wanted in connection to a home invasion robbery in Lancaster County are now in custody. Police say the men were wearing ski masks when they broke into a home in Conoy Township, claiming to be the police in April of last year. Once inside, police say the homeowner was beaten over the head with a piece of wood, pistol whipped, tased, and shot in the head with a BB gun. They then allegedly stole the victim's wallet, cash, and illegal contraband. Police say they have captured a Mississippi man wanted in the fatal shooting of a police officer. Darian Atkinson was captured last night in Wiggins. The 19-year-old was wanted for capital murder in the killing of Biloxi patrolman Robert McKeithen. The officer was shot Sunday in the parking lot outside of the police station. It launched an intensive manhunt on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Police say an officer driving home spotted the suspect on the side of the road. The United States is sending an aircraft carrier group to the Middle East 2 weeks ahead of schedule. And as CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen tells us, this comes as U.S. officials say new intelligence indicates an urgent threat from Iran.
The USS Abraham Lincoln is on its way to the Persian Gulf.
What we've been trying to do is to get Iran to behave like a normal nation.
The aircraft carrier and a bomber task force group are meant as a warning to Iran. Officials say real and urgent intelligence reports suggested Iran was plotting attacks on U.S. forces in the region.
We have continued to see activity that leads us to believe that there's escalation that may be taking place.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham applauded the move.
Iran's been a wrecking ball to the Mideast. Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, you name it. They've been very destabilizing.
Others, including Democratic presidential candidate Eric Swalwell, say Congress needs more information from the Trump administration. He tweeted, "We cannot trust a lawless president to provoke war with Iran without justification."
Iran is a rogue regime.
For the past year, the Trump administration has been increasing pressure on Iran, including more stringent oil sanctions and the withdrawal from the Iranian nuclear deal.
We don't believe that President Trump wants confrontation.
Last month, Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif blamed President Trump's advisors.
But I think the U.S. administration is putting things in place for accidents to happen.
The USS Lincoln is expected to arrive in the Middle East within the next 2 days. Tom Hansen, CBS News.
There's a race against the clock to save the planet. The number of species that need the human race to act fast to stop their impending extinction. And what a local community is doing to help its residents safely enjoy what this earth has to offer.
Well, did you get a chance to get outside and enjoy that beautiful weather yesterday? Sherry says she did. Did you get a chance to get the lawn mowed after that rainy weekend? Today, another good opportunity for it. We'll talk about the return of some rain showers with my first warning forecast. Well, yes, indeed. Big warm up today as we make a run toward 80 degrees this afternoon. We're looking good for outdoor plans. Just watch as this front works its way down from the north. That could be the trigger, especially north of Harrisburg for, an isolated or stray shower around sunset tonight. It won't be much rain. Then tomorrow, the cloud cover returns thanks to a northeast breeze. We're going to get cloudy and cooler. So enjoy today while we have it. Kids out at the bus stop, mid to upper 50s as we start the day with some sun. And yep, mostly sunny this afternoon. Look for a high near 80.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you. Checking in with our roads around Harrisburg this morning, where we're doing just fine around the Capital Region. It's still very quiet, as it always is this time of morning. Not a whole lot of people on the roads right now, so things moving through Camp Hill, New Cumberland look good. No issues for us near the York Split. Steelton, Paxton Street area moving A-OK. No problems if you're going to be heading towards the airport this morning. The rest of the Capital Beltway, 83, 81, all moving nicely. That's a look at your CBS 21 traffic alert.
Gun rights advocates are pushing their support for the Second Amendment.
For many of us, a firearm is our security system.
This rally was held yesterday at the state capitol in an attempt to fight back against some gun control laws. A few lawmakers joined in, condemning Pittsburgh's latest legislation. The bill restricts military-style assault weapons. It was passed in response to October's Tree of Life synagogue shooting. Representative Darrell Metcalf also announced a proposal to impeach Pittsburgh's mayor. in response to the bill. Plans are in the works to make Camp Hill's roads more accessible for bikers and walkers. Borough officials did a study and put together a master plan that highlights more than a dozen areas that need improvements. It includes fixing sidewalks and bike lanes, as well as adding curb extensions and signs. People in the area say they'd like to see these improvements.
Bike lanes would be nice because I would make use of that just to feel like people are more aware of the fact that there are automobiles on the road, and they need to be cautious of that.
With all the recommendations, the plan would cost more than $4 million. Officials are working to prioritize projects over the next few years and hope to allocate some money in the upcoming budget. Finding new ways to fight climate change, how farmers and soil scientists are helping lead the way by tweaking traditional farming techniques. But first, tips on what to pack in your car when going on a picnic in this week's Auto Matters.
Auto Matters is brought to you by Select Collision.
Today's question asks, we're planning a picnic at the state park. What should we have in the car? Well, obviously, this is a car segment, so I'll leave the menu items up to you. But you're going to want common sense things, a nice blanket to spread over the ground. A soft side cooler can stay in your car for use at any time. Plastic forks and knives and spoons. But don't forget things like bug spray and a bottle of sunscreen, too. Finally, your meal will be delicious, and your guests will make a mess. I learned a long time ago what a parenting miracle baby wipes are. Keep them handy. They clean anything. And when you need tips for your next adventure, make sure to chat with one of our trusted car pros here in town.
Every car that leaves our facility is our rolling business card, and we understand that our customers' time is incredibly valuable, and we want to make sure everything is as convenient as it can be for them, and they can get their car back as quickly as possible so that they can get back on the road.
A new climate change report states more than 1 million of the world's species are on the brink of extinction.
Yes, Sherry, that report by the United Nations says humans are to blame. It claims more than 40% of all amphibian species are threatened, as well as a third of all reef-forming corals and marine mammals.
It also states some of the main drivers are exploitation of organisms, climate change, pollution, and invasive alien species. Experts say it's time humans change our ways.
We need the other organisms of the planet, or we will not exist. And it's really important that everybody understand that and understand that time is very short.
Experts say the effects can be reversed if action is taken within the next decade. Farmers across the nation have found a new way to reduce greenhouse gas emission and increase their farm's resiliency to extreme weather.
It's called climate smart farming, and it all begins with soil that can trap carbon. Now, the method does not use traditional plowing, which churns the soil. Instead, farmers are preserving soil using cover crops. This takes carbon dioxide out of the air, puts it into the ground. Experts say this can help reverse climate change.
Farmland really has the capacity to sequester a lot more carbon, put it back into the soil, and by doing that, we're making the soil better. We're building.
Now, while this type of farming does require the use of chemical herbicides, experts hope more people will take advantage of it.
Today, there will be a hurricane awareness tour at Harrisburg International Airport. Meteorologists from the National Weather Service, as well as FEMA officials, first responders, and pilots will discuss the hazards of hurricanes and how the storms affect the Keystone State. Folks will get the chance to see the inside of an aircraft as well as other emergency response vehicles. The public tours run from 2 to 5 this afternoon at HIA.
And I will be there. Tom will be there. Stacy will be there. We're looking forward to that today. And this Thursday, Stacy, Tom, and myself take an in-depth look at some of the dangers that come along with severe weather. Watch our special Thursday night right here, CBS 21 News. Coming up at 5:30. Looking forward to that, our annual spring severe weather special. We've been working hard on it for the past few weeks.
Yeah, you have.
So, Sherry, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you ever wonder how chunks of ice can fall from the sky when it's 90 degrees outside?
Every day.
Every day. I know you can hardly sleep at night thinking about how hail is formed.
That's one of the really fascinating facts you guys will address.
Get the answers coming up on Thursday night. Nothing falling from the sky this morning. Isn't that nice? We've got a nice, beautiful start to our Tuesday. So where's the rough weather at once again today? Where else would you expect it to be? Back across Tornado Alley. In fact, some definite concerns about a severe weather outbreak later on today. Look at the tornado risk through Dallas and then, of course, us into Oklahoma, Kansas, even Colorado, New Mexico. That entire area all could see some tornadoes later on today. Thankfully, we are quiet here in central Pennsylvania and warm. Temperature going to get to around 80 degrees in most backyards later on today. Just watching this front right here. Watch as it sags to the south throughout the day. That'll bring back a few clouds as we head toward the evening hours tonight. 7, 8 o'clock. We could see a stray shower, especially to the north and west of Harrisburg, but I think most of us will stay dry. But then the pattern completely flips tomorrow. So enjoy today while we have it, because we get a northeast breeze that's going to set up for us tomorrow. That's going to bring back the cloud cover. It's going to be cooler, back down into the 60s. Don't see much rain for us tomorrow. By Thursday, we've got some stray showers, even an isolated thunderstorm back into your forecast. So really warm today, up to 80 degrees. Our average high now is 70. And then talked about that northeast flow, that northeast breeze. That's going to sock us in with the clouds both tomorrow and Thursday for a couple of much cooler days. Break out of it a little bit on Friday, but guess what? As we warm things up, we're also going to bring back that risk for some feistier thunderstorms during the second half of the day. So this is our future rainfall model. This is all the way through Thursday morning. Don't see much rain coming our way, despite the fact that it is going to be cloudy tomorrow. Thursday, couple of scattered showers, and then of course Friday, right? We're going to have rain in the forecast. Yes, there's going to be some scattered showers and storms just as we're starting the weekend on Friday. But in the meantime, enjoy today. Sunshine wins the day. And look at that, high temperature late this afternoon, right around 80 degrees. Should still be really pleasant for us during the early evening hours. I mentioned just that chance of an isolated or stray shower around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. So we'll just look for that stray shower to be around, but I think most of us will stay dry. An overnight low down to 54. And here's the rest of your first warning. 7-day forecast. So it is a warm up, but unfortunately, it's quite brief. Cloudy, cooler tomorrow, mid-60s when storm chances come back as we round out the work week. Saturday, some sunshine, upper 60s, and a few scattered showers for Mom on Sunday.
And as Steve mentioned, today's going to be a beautiful sunny day. And if you plan on being outside, you want to make sure you're protected with the best sunscreen, right? Well, Consumer Reports tested and ranked 82 products. It found La Roche-Posay to be the best, giving it a perfect score. Experts say it has excellent protection against UVB rays, which cause sunburn, and UVA rays, which cause aging and skin cancer. Equate, Walmart's Ultra Protection Lotion SPF 50, also got a top score.
Every sunscreen has its own formulation and own set of active ingredients, and that really affects its performance.
To get the most effective use of your sunscreen, experts recommend you use enough for proper coverage and reapply as directed on the label. From the Lynx to the White House, Tiger Woods receives a top honor. How the president is recognizing the golf star after his major comeback at the Masters.
All of our major roads are moving A-OK for us this morning. If you are going to be heading out the door, you're in luck. No slow go or accidents to report for you right now. Everything in Lancaster is moving A-OK in those intercity roads. Same goes for Route 30, either if you're moving east or westbound this morning. 283 making your way up to or away from the Capitol looks good too. Same goes for 222 if you're going to be taking a trip south. That's a look at your CBS 21 traffic alert.
Comeback king Tiger Woods has received the nation's highest civilian honor.
Yeah, you may have caught it. The golf star is now the youngest athlete to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. President Trump presented the honor to Woods yesterday during a ceremony at the White House. The president called him a true legend. This comes after the 43-year-old won last month's Masters tournament, an amazing win.
Right.
It was his first major win in nearly 11 years.
You've seen the good and the bad, the highs and the lows. And I would not be in this position without all of your help.
So currently, Woods ranks second in PGA Tour wins and in major tournament victories. He is the fourth golfer to earn the Medal of Freedom.
Wow. Well, the world's biggest celebrities are showing off their most extravagant outfits.
Oh, yeah.
Last night was the 2019 Met Gala. You have to look at this, folks. The theme was...
That's J-Lo.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The theme was camp, notes on fashion, and the goal was to challenge the status quo with over-the-top outfits. What do you think? Were they successful, Ash?
Oh, they were over the top, all right.
Singer Katy Perry dressed as a human chandelier, while Jared Leto was accompanied by his own fake head. Zendaya dressed as Cinderella, even leaving behind a glass slipper.
Oh, you gotta do it. You gotta hold.
And I thought I saw Lady Gaga too. She was the co-chair, and she had 4 different wardrobe changes on the pink
all
carpet.
the way from a full ball gown down to her underwear.
Oh yeah, that's right. She took it off to reveal her underwear.
That's right. So
well, the gala raises money, right, for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute.
Well, across the pond, London is welcoming the new royal baby. You know, Sherry and I love this.
Yes.
The city's most iconic landmarks were lit up last night to celebrate the birth of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's baby boy. Baby Sussex was born yesterday morning, weighing 7 pounds and 3 ounces. Prince Harry was all smiles as he talked to reporters about their new addition.
I'm so incredibly proud of my wife, and as every father and parent would ever say, you know, your baby is absolutely amazing, but this little thing is absolutely to die for. So I'm just over the moon.
Oh, so precious. Well, the couple hasn't picked out a name for the baby just yet. Some are placing bets on James, Arthur, Charles, and Philip. The new royal is 7th in line to the throne.
Wow.
All would be great names.
Right, exactly. Cannot wait to see.
I know. I'm
like,
so happy for them.
Ashley and I yesterday was like, oh my goodness, wait, they're showing up.
Oh, you should have seen
They got
it.
this shot of the castle.
We were all over it.
Well, congratulations to them. A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier and bomber task force are now headed to the Middle East, while officials say they are being deployed. Plus, honoring fallen officers, how those attending the FOP Memorial are remembering 2 local officers who died in the line of duty.
You're watching CBS 21 News this morning.
Over the last several days, the terrorist group Hamas and other militants have fired over 600 rockets into Israel, killing at least 4 Israelis and wounding others. As a result, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered massive attacks on the sites of Hamas and other militants. Israel has come under scrutiny for retaliating. However, it is important to ask, how can they not retaliate? If terrorists fired 600 rockets into United States airspace, we would all be in favor of a strong response. The Jewish people have been living their lives in peace, but Hamas and other jihadists are focused on spreading terror and fear, with their goal being the elimination of the Jewish state. These militant groups have to face maximum international pressure and be physically eradicated. However, some members of Congress, such as Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, are standing up for the terrorist groups attacking Israel. Israel is a long-standing U.S. ally. Tlaib and Omar's shameful perspective stands in direct opposition to making any progress towards peace in the Middle East. Here's the bottom line. Americans and our elected officials in particular have to condemn terrorism and terrorists. The far left's stance of being against Israel and often sliding into anti-Semitism is against America's best interests and is absolutely disgusting.
Boris, I commend members of Congress for standing up for the humanization of Palestinians. Coming up, my reaction to the violence in the Middle East this past weekend.
The views expressed by commentators do not necessarily reflect the views of this station.
Well, most of us have some clear skies as we start today. There has been a little bit of patchy fog developing in Lancaster County. You can see down to just a mile of visibility there. Also a little bit concerned with Selinsgrove traveling up Route 15, less than a mile of visibility there. But other than that, we're off to a great start here this morning. What's going to be a really nice day, a really warm day. We're going to make a run toward 80 degrees. Now, front's going to sag through here during the evening hours tonight. That may just trigger that stray shower just to the north of Harrisburg. Enjoy today, because by tomorrow, after that front passes, the door swings open for some easterly winds and a cloudy and cooler day on the way for tomorrow. You notice both tomorrow, Thursday, we're looking at highs only in the 60s. But how about today? Mostly sunny skies, good for the outdoor plans with a high near 80.
Have you fed any children today, or have you just stood out in front of a Planned Parenthood shaming people for something that they have a constitutional right to do?
Abortion clinic confrontation. Pennsylvania Republicans now demanding a Democrat apologize after he videotaped himself heckling a Planned Parenthood protester in Philadelphia. CBS 21's Brendan Kinney has more on the controversy.
Shame on you. What you're doing here is disgusting. This is wrong. You have no business being out here.
In this nearly 9-minute-long video posted on social media,
you're allowed to be out here. That doesn't mean that you have a moral right to be out here.
PA State Representative Brian Sims peppers this unidentified woman with questions and criticism.
Who would have thought that an old white lady would be out in front of a Planned Parenthood telling people what's right for their bodies?
In a tweet posted late last week, Sims says the woman was protesting outside a Planned Parenthood in Philadelphia. The PA Republican Party is responding to the video.
So what's going through your head, Jason?
By demanding an apology from Representative Sims.
This is conduct that is certainly that is unacceptable and despicable coming from a state lawmaker.
Republicans say the harassing rant showing a woman exercising her First Amendment rights includes potentially criminal conduct.
He certainly should apologize at the very least, not only to the woman, but also to Pennsylvanians and voters who expect more from their elected officials.
Sims fired back on Twitter after the anti-abortion group Live Action called his video shameful. Sims says, quote, "Bring it, Bible bullies. You are bigots, sexists, and misogynists, and I see right through your fake morals and your broken values." For CBS 21 News, I'm Brendan Kinney.
Thank you, Brendan. Happening today, a push for lawmakers to raise the minimum wage, or minimum age, I should say, to buy tobacco from 18 years to 21. It's part of a movement that some say could help protect future generations from a lifetime of health risks. CBS 21's Joe Ducey live outside the state capitol. Joe, just how big will this rally be?
Hey Sherry, good morning. Hundreds of advocates, including more than 650 youth advocates from across the state, say they'll be looking to make a statement here today. And they're not just focusing on traditional cigarettes. E-cigarettes has increased rapidly amongst youths, and the Surgeon General has determined e-cigarettes contain harmful and potentially harmful ingredients which could cause irreversible lung damage. According to the CDC, more than 40% of PA high school students have used an e-cigarette at least once. In addition to raising the minimum age to buy tobacco, demonstrators will also urge the legislature to preserve funding for prevention programs in the state. Nearly $17 million has been proposed in the budget, which is significantly less than the CDC's $140 million recommendation.
We saw a 78% increase in youth e-cigarette use from 2017 to 2018. So this disturbing trend really shows that we need to preserve funding for these programs.
According to the American Lung Association, Pennsylvania spends more than $6 billion every year on health care costs related to tobacco use. Today's rally gets started here at the Capitol at noon. For now, reporting live in Harrisburg, Joe Ducey, CBS 21 News.
Thank you, Joe. Today, a doctor will be in court for a preliminary hearing in Lancaster County. At least 5 people have come forward saying Dr. William Volmar sexually assaulted them. Volmar was a practicing physician and also had contracts with local schools. His medical license has been suspended. 1 year ago today, a boat capsized on the Susquehanna River in Harrisburg, killing a mother and daughter and prompting safety improvements at the Dock Street Dam. The family was night fishing last May when the boat they were in tipped as it entered the rolling water over the dam. 25-year-old Mary Bredbenner and 3-year-old Madeline Binkley died. Her father, 26-year-old Cody Binkley, survived but was later charged with homicide and involuntary manslaughter. Police say he was operating the boat while under the influence of marijuana. In the months since the accident at the so-called drowning machine, new signage and buoys were installed to warn boaters about the hazards. And with summer just around the corner, city officials are hoping for a safer boating season. An update now to the search for a missing fisherman in Franklin County. Rescue teams say they have called off the search for 51-year-old Gregory Cole for the night, but they are expected to continue their search efforts later today. Cole was last seen fishing on a pond in Montgomery Township Sunday afternoon. River rescue crews tell us they are using sonar equipment to see if it picks up anything on the bottom of the pond, which is somewhere between 12 and 18 feet deep. Lancaster County officials are investigating a trooper-involved shooting and chase. It all started at the Chester County line early yesterday morning. State police say East Lampeter Township officers were chasing a suspect's vehicle when he made his way to the Turkey Hill parking lot just off of Main Street. And that's when the man allegedly drove his vehicle into the state police cruiser, prompting troopers to fire a weapon. Officials say the suspect was not hit with the bullet, but was taken to the hospital after police used a taser before taking him into custody. The suspect's name hasn't been released, but police say he is a 39-year-old man from Coatesville.
And we're following breaking news out of Brooklyn, New York this morning, where a building has collapsed after a car ran into it. This is a live look right now at that building. There is a reporter on scene from our CBS sister station there also covering this. So we want to let you know that it happened late last night. 100 firefighters worked through the night to help battle this fire. A 20-year-old driver who drove his car into that building sustained minor injuries and did try to flee the accident after running into the building, but he was caught quickly and taken to the hospital. No one else was injured in there, thankfully. The first floor of that building, a closed business, the second floor apartments where nobody was home, thankfully, at the time. Again, no one else injured, and we'll be bringing you updates on this as we get them.
The Trump administration is intensifying pressure to, quote, get Iran to behave like a normal nation, end quote. And that's according to U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who addressed reporters following the administration's decision to move an aircraft carrier group to the Middle East. It's in response to threats of a possible attack on U.S. forces.
Iran's been a wrecking ball to the Mideast. Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, you name it. They've been very destabilizing.
The military deployment comes just days after the White House imposed new sanctions to prevent Iran from selling its oil overseas. President Trump has granted a pardon to a former first lieutenant in the U.S. Army convicted of killing an Iraqi prisoner. Michael Bahena of Oklahoma has been granted clemency. Bahena was convicted in 2009 for unpremeditated murder in a combat zone after killing a suspected al-Qaeda terrorist. Bahena was paroled in 2014 and has been scheduled to remain on parole until 2024. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says he was a model prisoner. A Houston community holding out hope after a 4-year-old girl vanishes without a trace. The latest on the efforts to find Malia Davis and her mother's emotional plea for her return home. Plus, there will soon be a new leader of a local police department, how it comes at a time of uncertainty about its coverage area.
Well, another good day for the outdoor plans. Yes, after that rainy weekend, if you still need to mow that lawn, good day for it. We do have more shower chances coming. I'll let you know when with my first warning forecast. Well, not only a nice but comfortable start to the day. Just want to call your attention to Lancaster County. They've got about a mile of visibility right now thanks to the patchy fog that has developed in Lancaster. So watch for that even heading over toward Chester County. You might run into some patchy fog here this morning. Nice day today, very warm. Stray shower chance tonight, but I do mean stray. And I think it's mainly north of Harrisburg, but just can't rule out a pop-up shower with this frontal boundary sliding through tonight. That will bring back some clouds for tomorrow, and it will get cooler for us. But in the meantime, good to go for the kids out at the bus stop. Temperatures upper 50s. If it's field trip day today, oh, it's a good day for it. Mostly sunny skies this afternoon, looking for a high near 80.
Well, things are quiet for us this morning in York. Those inner city York roads are moving along nicely. Same goes for Route 30 crossing both east or westbound through the region if you're going to be heading over towards Gettysburg or maybe even Lancaster. 83 making your way up towards that York splits, doing A-OK. No slowing or jamming just yet near the Reeser Summit. Same goes for the rest of the Capital Beltway. That's a look at your CBS 21 traffic alert.
A Lower Allen Township commissioner is accused of assaulting his sister in a Walmart parking lot. According to court documents, the victim claims Jack Simpson punched her in the head, face, and upper body Friday afternoon. She says it happened after she slapped him when he began calling her vulgar names. The entire incident was caught on surveillance cameras. Police say Simpson admitted to confronting and hitting his sister. He faces charges for simple assault and is out on bail. Today, there will be a public ceremony in Spring Grove to recognize the outgoing Southwestern Regional Police Chief. Chief Greg Bean is retiring after deciding to eliminate the position as the department searches for new ways to cut costs. Sergeant Jamie Stahlcup will replace him as the officer in charge. The department covers 4 municipalities in York County, including North Codorus Township, which is considering leaving the force. Although uncertainty does lie ahead, Sergeant Stahlcup says he hopes the people are pleased with his work.
They are your critic. They are your critic. They're your customer. So to have their support is, job one.
If North Codorus Township does leave the force, more budget cuts will have to be made. Law enforcement officers across the state paying tribute to those who died in the line of duty. Yesterday was the 26th annual Fraternal Order of Police Remembrance Ceremony. Among the honorees were York City Police Officer Alex Sable and Deputy U.S. Marshal Christopher Hill. He was killed in a shootout in Harrisburg last January.
He was just an amazing kid. He was an Army Ranger, a combat veteran. He was a member of the Special Operations Group of the U.S. Marshal Service, which is an elite group. He was an operator like no other, and I think it was a wake-up call to everybody in law enforcement when someone of that level loses their life.
2 other officers from Philadelphia and Newcastle were also honored. It's a battle over reproductive rights, the state that is about to officially pass legislation focusing on abortions and why some are taking issue with the bill. At least 1 American is among 41 people killed when a plane caught fire at a Moscow airport. 22-year-old Jeremy Brooks was from New Mexico. His former boss says he was headed to Russia to work as a fly fishing guide. Authorities say the plane had just taken off when it circled back to the airport for unspecified technical reasons on Sunday. Investigators are now looking into 3 possible causes of fire: inexperienced pilots, equipment failure, and bad weather. A Boeing 737 still in shallow water in Jacksonville, Florida, after a crash landing through a seawall. The military chartered jet ended up in the St. John River near Naval Air Station Jacksonville on Friday. Officials say it can't be pulled out until its fuel is removed. No one was seriously hurt, but Miami Air International, which operated the jet, is offering $2,500 to all 136 passengers as a goodwill gesture. The mother of the missing 4-year-old Houston girl is speaking out. Police say Malia Davis was abducted over the weekend. She was last seen Friday night riding in a car with her stepfather, Darian Vance. He says she may be with 3 men who attacked him while he had car trouble. He says they knocked him unconscious and took off with the girl. Vince claims he woke up 24 hours later. Malia's mother is pleading for her child's return.
I love her so much. If there's anybody that can help me, please. I just want to find my baby.
An Amber Alert was issued for Malia Sunday morning. The governor of Georgia is expected to sign a controversial fetal heartbeat bill today. As John Lawrence reports, the legislation effectively bans most abortions within weeks of conception.
Battle lines in Georgia over reproductive rights.
Let's champion life today and ensure that all Georgians, including the unborn, have the chance to live, grow, and prosper.
House Bill 481 bans abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy.
We can't continue to allow these white men, middle-aged men, to dictate what we are able to do with our bodies.
There are some exceptions to the bill, including danger to the woman's health. Rape and incest victims could also get abortions before the 20-week mark, the current cutoff, if a police report has been filed. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp tweeted that the bill speaks for those who cannot speak for themselves. State Rep Ed Setzler wrote the bill, and he says abortion is barbaric and that there are other options, including adoption and the so-called morning after pill. But critics have issues with the bill.
It's poorly worded, it's poorly written, so I don't think it'll survive any court challenges.
The ACLU is preparing a court challenge, and a similar law in Iowa was declared unconstitutional. And some Hollywood names are threatening to boycott Georgia's growing film industry over the law.
Our industry is taking a stand. Women are taking a stand, and we're saying no more. No more of these hurtful policies. It's happening all over the country. It's unacceptable.
John Lawrence, CBS 21 News This Morning.
The number of measles cases in the U.S. continues to rise. The CDC has confirmed 60 more cases, bringing the total number to 764. Health officials are blaming the outbreak on the spread of misinformation about vaccinations.
And now, CBS 21 News First Warning Weather with meteorologist Steve Knight.
Well, it sure was nice to dry out yesterday. Yesterday actually was the first completely dry day we've had thus far in the month of May. We've already kind of doubled the average rainfall total for the month, and obviously the month is still young. So all those days in green, we had at least some measurable rain, of course, highlighted by all the rain on Sunday when we picked up nearly an inch of rain. So good to dry out. We need to continue to do that here. Moving forward, we've got a nice dry start for you here this morning. Seen a little bit of patchy fog develop over toward Lancaster County, so just be aware of that. The rough weather today, where else? Back across Tornado Alley, where they've already had some tornado watches pop up, and today they've got big concerns there. Look at this. This is the Texas Panhandle and into Oklahoma, even parts of Colorado and Kansas all could see a possible tornado later on today. We're going to be watching that system as it works its way east here throughout the week. But in the meantime, kind of all eyes on this front here. In the meantime, out ahead of that front, really warm today. We're going to make a run toward 80 degrees. Then as this front slowly sags to the south during the evening hours tonight, we'll look for a stray or isolated shower or storm to kind of pop up, and that will bring it into our warmth, because once that front goes through by tomorrow, we get a northeast breeze, and that's going to make it cloudy and cooler. Really not much rain tomorrow, just a lot of cloud cover, some scattered showers, and even an isolated storm coming back on Thursday. So you notice that big dip into temperature both tomorrow and Thursday, thanks to that easterly flow, that push that we get off of the Atlantic that brings back the clouds and the cooler temperatures. Not much rain in the bucket at all between now and Thursday morning. Maybe just 1/10 of an inch tomorrow with some patchy drizzle. But then Thursday and unfortunately, especially Friday, it is looking like once again we've got rainfall chances in your forecast on Friday, just as we're starting the weekend with some scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. But sunny and warm today. Enjoy. It is going to be a nice one. If you don't have outdoor plans today, make some. 80 degrees, high temperature later on today, and it's still going to be looking good for us as we're heading home from work and school and even into the early evening hours. So 54 overnight tonight. And again, can't rule out a stray shower, especially areas north of Harrisburg. Here's the rest of your first morning 7-day forecast. So as quickly as we warm it up, we cool it back down into the 60s tomorrow. Shower or thunderstorm on Thursday, and yes, starting the weekend with scattered showers and storms. Unfortunately for Mom, on Sunday we've got some clouds and a few showers around it. It will be cooler with high temperatures below average in the mid 60s.
Well, listen to this. An Ohio man is making headlines for successfully going on an all-beer diet.
I've been doing this for years.
Right? This is not new to Steve.
No. Del Hall vowed to live off beer, foregoing solid food for 46 days during Lent. Yeah, he says most of it was just a mental game in which he had to force himself not to succumb to the pressure of eating real food. Now Hall claims his health and mindset have improved and says he's lost 44 pounds. I guess, was he drinking light beer? What?
Maybe he was exercising as
Yeah,
well.
Probably. All right, well, Hall says he's hoping to use this momentum to continue to break his food addiction and make better lifestyle choices.
Okay.
So by going all beer
That's
for
one way to
44
do it.
days, he's making better lifestyle choices.
I guess you're getting your grains in.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're
Yeah,
hydrating.
Right. Yeah, not much protein though. That's the only thing. I mean,
No.
really, if you a little bit of yeast and you poured beer into a cake pan or something, you'd have a loaf of bread. You know,
There
so
you go.
there's that.
The
you know.
carbs.
See, Steve really is not
That's
new to this.
grains.
What I've been telling myself for the last. See, he did it for 44 days. I've did it for 44 years.
What a wimp.
Yeah. It's a big
Speaking
deal.
of beer,
Yeah.
Bud Light is launching an LGBTQ themed campaign. What the beer company is doing to show its support.
Cumberland County traffic is, well, traffic free this morning. Everything there is moving A-OK on the West Shore. No issues for us right now in Carlisle. Intercity Carlisle roads are moving just fine. Marysville and NOLA all doing A-OK. The PA Turnpike looks good. Same goes for 81 passing through our region, making your way down to Chambersburg, even Gettysburg this morning. No issues on our river routes. That's a look at your CBS 21 traffic alert.
Bud Light is launching a new bottle design to celebrate Pride Month in June. The beer company is partnering with LGBTQ media organization GLAAD to launch rainbow aluminum bottles. Bud Light says the bottles, quote, celebrate the LGBTQ community and everything GLAAD does to support it. The bottles will make their first debut at the Governor's Ball Music Festival in New York at the end of the month. After that, it will be available to the public everywhere. You can thank Chance the Rapper for Wendy's bringing back its spicy chicken nuggets. Thank you, Chance. On Saturday, the musician tweeted he hopes the fast food chain will add the item back to its menu. That's when Wendy's responded, saying the nuggets will come back if his tweet gets 2 million likes. Well, guess what? The goal was achieved in less than 2 days, causing Wendy's to announce the return of its spicy nuggets. So they were true to their word. It's not known when they'll appear on the menu, though. Today's number of the day, 77. That's the percentage of American adults who say they've worked for minimum wage at some point in their lives. The Job Creators Network and ScottRasmussen.com poll revealed this experience was shared by Americans across all demographic and partisan lines. A large majority of those who work for minimum wage say they did so as a teenager. Defending the right to bear arms. Why lawmakers and advocates are calling for support for the Second Amendment while simultaneously criticizing a recently proposed bill in Pittsburgh. Plus, calling all weather enthusiasts, we'll tell you how you can learn all about hurricanes from meteorology experts here in our region today.
You're watching CBS 21 News this morning.
A ceasefire was reached in Israel on Monday, ending a violent surge in Gaza and southern Israel. Over the weekend, 600 rockets were launched at Israel, and the Israeli army responded with airstrikes targeting the Gaza Strip. 23 Palestinians were killed, including 2 pregnant women and their infants, while 4 Israelis were killed. In no short order, the news media followed suit. What they all failed to mention was that 4 Palestinians were killed by Israelis on Friday, before any rockets were fired from Gaza. Immediately following the attacks, President Trump tweeted firm support for Israel, labeling terrorist group attacks responsible for the carnage. He didn't even mention the Palestinian lives lost. Our new congressional members won't allow this tragic story to be revised by Trump or the media. Representative Tlaib slammed a New York Times headline framing violence in Israel as being initiated by a barrage of rockets from Gaza. She called for humanization of the Palestinian people and reminded everyone of the innocent lives lost, including young children. Both Congresswomen Tlaib and Omar have faced criticism of their support of Islam and Palestinians repeatedly and have yet to back down. And I commend them. For far too long, Americans have been spoon-fed a narrative that ignored the very real and tragic targeting of Palestinian families. Let's get to the point. America has long held a strong relationship with Israel. It's time to take a deeper look into our collective consciousness and the dehumanization of the Palestinian people.